Mr. Minister.
Madam, I wish to, first of all, I thank you as well as all the honorable members for participating in this demands for grant debate. And I hope end of the day, when we actually vote for it, it will give us the money to spend for all the ideas that you all generated and make sure that we improve the health of railways and we try to make it better. Madam, many people have raised issues going beyond demand for grant. And therefore, let me just deal with some of these border issues. Madam, our Honorable Prime Minister, he mentioned railways as often as it's possible just to highlight the importance of railways in his overall theme of bringing about a complete socio-economic transformation of this country. Because railway plays a very key role in creating the type of infrastructure which in turn will create economic opportunities. The amount of investment that we make in railways, and if the higher it is, it will actually spur the GDP growth. And I will not be surprised that many people have said that probably the GDP growth could be as high as 2.5 to 3% if we try to commit the investment that we have already committed. And therefore, over a period of time, we will be able to take railways to a new height whereby the poverty of India will be eliminated. We of course keep talking about the poor, but what is important is we should definitely worship the poor, but should not celebrate the poverty. We have to eliminate it, and we all have a common obligation to do that, because the people of poor of India who have voted us feel that we must together work towards removing poverty, and there is no other better endeavor than railways to bring this about. If you remove poverty, railways can create employment, railways can remove regional disparity, railways can bring in the type of inclusive growth that we envisage, and therefore this is a great opportunity for us to work in a way that railways become a national pride and all of us have a joint responsibility. In fact, I really sincerely thank many members for giving very concrete suggestions, ideas, and I think we'll all work together to make it happen. This is a national asset, national issue, so we should all work towards it and try to make it better. Madam, one of the ideas that our Prime Minister talked about, and this is in fact has become one of the central themes of this year's budget, was cooperative federalism. Madam, many of the members have desired, and I fully agree with them, that Tamil Nadu, Kerala, countries, states like that have been deprived of a due share in development. Tadgat will be happy this time. Odisha also was always denied. But this time the Chief Minister of Odisha said that ever since I have been the Chief Minister, the first budget I want to welcome, because this has given us a due share to Odisha. So these all the states have regional aspiration. Unfortunately, we could not meet with them for a simple reason. The resources available with us were so scarce. The amount of money that was coming from the general budget was not as much as it should really meet the requirement, and that the internal generation of railways was not sufficient, so we could not meet the regional aspiration. So this budget, and I'll come to it in a minute, we are trying to actually tackle this problem of underinvestment by making more investment and try to get this over this. But one of the central theme is taking states on board. This is the first time we have decided to make state-specific special purpose vehicle a company in which only state-related projects will be implemented. We'll take equity, states will take equity. Some of the members said, who is going to do it? I am happy to say, barring northeastern states where we have not talked to them, but even northeastern states, but all other states where we actually requested them, they have actually sent us a letter to sign MOU. In fact, most of the states are already saying now that we want to take the next step forward, make a company so that we can start implementing projects. What is the advantage of this? Many times, sitting here, I will not be able to appreciate the concern of Tamil Nadu, whether it should go into this part of Tamil Nadu or that part of Tamil Nadu. But if you have a company in which the management is also localized, people will decide, the state government can decide that this particular region of Tamil Nadu should get a priority, we'll be able to do that. Secondly, whatever revenue generation happens from that entity could also be plowed back into developing new projects for Tamil Nadu. We are also proposing taking a next step forward. Many of members have said, including standing committee, that we should develop stations on private sector participation. We want to develop stations. I also propose to some of the state governments that we can develop these stations through this entity. So the advantage is that land belongs to railways. We'll be able to use the land and air rights of that, develop a station, the profit that we make, and each one of them will be a profitable entity, could go to the state entity. We can even take local self-governments on board, like we have talked to Maharashtra, the Mumbai Municipal Corporation ready. In Bengaluru, we can take Bengaluru state government as the Bengaluru Municipal Corporation along with the Karnataka state government, and we'll be able to develop this so that regional aspiration, the true cooperative federalism, will become a reality. And that is what we intend to do. And therefore, I really thank all the members for suggesting various ideas of meeting their aspirations. I hope over a period of time, we'll be able to meet all, not only through railway allocation, but also through this. But while on this subject, madam, I want to tell you that this year, and I had given this figure, but I would like to say again because some members have raised it. Madam, this year, the amount of money that has increased, in case of Andhra Pradesh, it is 217%. In case of Chhattisgarh, it is 143.93%. In case of Gujarat, 282%. In case of Haryana, it is 482. In case of Himachal Pradesh, small state, and they were always complaining they are not getting it, 464.81%. And many members have appealed and appreciate it also. And many like this, most of the states have got twice or thrice more than what was given earlier, for a simple reason, is that we could increase the plan size. Why we increase the plan size? Because if you don't do that, regional aspirations will not be met, and because we do not invest enough into the railways profitability will constantly keep going down, and the railways ultimately will become a sick enterprise that we don't want to avoid. And to do that, what are the choices of making investment? One investment can come from the internal generation. What are the sources of internal generation, madam? Freight, which is 2/3 of revenue. 27% comes from passenger traffic, 3% from coaching services, and 3% from other income. That is what is the composition of the total income of the railways. To increase internal generation, we have to increase either of these. And the logic goes that if you increase passenger charges, all of us, we don't want that. We always feel that it should be low. Of course, many of the standing committee have said, and their recommendation is little confusing to me, because they have said in a very political way that whether we should increase internal generation by doing this or by without saying increase the fare. They have said that. I don't know whether the standing committee really meant it. But what we are attempted to do this time is that this is one source is internal generation. Other way of increasing internal generation is to reduce the expenditure of railways as a percentage. Sorry?
No, she is not yielding to anybody. Yielding to...
Anyway, I will...
No, you are yielding to him, or what?
Anyway, so what I just...
Not now, she is not yielding.
So what is meant is by increasing the internal generation, we also can reduce the percentage of expenses. Salaries account for more than 50%, salaries and pension. The cost of fuel, which is also rising. So we have worked out with a concrete strategy this time, increase the freight earning, trying to reduce the cost of expenditure by way of rationalizing it, and by doing this, what we are trying to do is to find out what we should try to do it. And therefore, I am trying to say this budget, that was internal generation. Second is borrowing. And therefore, we decided that railways are suffering, bleeding, and we should not allow, there is an operation, surgery need to be conducted, it cannot be delayed anymore. That's why we decided to invest it. Madam, what is the result of underinvestment? I will just tell you and why Indian Railway is suffering. This is a very important point to be noted by all of us. Madam, we had invested as less than 2%. In fact, the railway share in 1991 was 2%, roads was 4.25%. In 2013-14, the share has dipped just below 1%, whereas the roads have gone to 6%. As a result of which, railways are losing a critical source of income which comes from freight, and therefore we are losing that. In fact, we are also seeing that China, and this is something which is very interesting to know, that China has got, and we keep comparing, some of the members also mention about China, that's why I'm saying this. We have, in case of China, the amount of money, investment railways and India is at least 7% more, so 7 times more than what we are invested in railways in India. So how do you compete with a system wherein China invests more, China handles freight better, China's ability to service their infrastructure in a much better way, China becomes more competitive. If you want to really do that, we must reverse the trend by investing in railways. And then investment, the only choice is either increase internal generation, which you are trying to do. That's why the operating ratio is highest ever after the last pay commission. But even if you do that, doesn't give us enough money to invest. So other source is to get from the finance minister. As a country, we will realize that we are already a very high debt country, so therefore we cannot afford to keep borrowing from finance budget because he has to also service it by paying interest. So finance minister has already committed. He has increased the share of GBS this time significantly, but even then we needed more money, and therefore we decided to borrow the money this time and put it into railways so that railways will become profitable. In fact, if you really look at it, over a period of time, I don't want to take more details of this, but significantly the money required. Now whether borrowing, and that's what the standing committee said, is the borrowing good idea? Madam, as I said, German railways in 2013 had a revenue of 39 billion and debt of 16 billion. Chinese railways, before corporatization in 2013, had a debt of 428 billion US dollars. China Railways Corporation, the total liability was 4.68 trillion yuan, and the corporation debt has ascended to 62%. Russian Railways, of course, they did a different model, they attracted FDI. Japan Railway, JR East, which has a debt of 32 billion and total assets of 72 billion. So why I'm saying this is that anywhere in the world, you want to increase the network, you want to augment the capacity, you have to find out money, which as the others have done, we have to do it from debt, because the current income of any time will not be enough to service and to create the type of asset that will be required. And therefore, madam, this time we decided consciously that we'll put this money in a way that we increase the capacity of railways and also be able to handle more traffic. If we do this, madam, in the next few years' time, as we already said, we'll be able to increase the freight handling capacity of railways by 50%. We'll be able to increase the passenger handling capacity of railways significantly. We'll be able to reduce the cost as a percentage of total expenditure significantly, as a result of which the financial turnaround of railways will happen. So not that railways will be in trouble because of the investment. In fact, we don't make investment, railways are in trouble. So not that we are in debt trap. Railways are actually in the deeper hole. We want to bring it out, and to make it happen, we have to make investment. To make investment, we have to find money from wherever possible. Therefore, we have to investment. Does it mean that we are making blind investment? Each of these projects will be studied properly. There are very eminent bankers like Arundhati Bhattacharya of State Bank of India, K.V. Kamath of ICICI, the IDFC, which is again held by Ministry of Finance as a capital of that. All of them are making investments into the railway, into looking at the due diligence of this, so that we'll be able to find out how we'll be able to turn around the railways in a way that it actually brings about a complete transformation of the system, in turn transformation of the economy as a whole. And therefore, madam, we have decided to make this conscious effort, and for that we have made a 5-year plan. The standing committee, page 62, says that they are very happy with the plan that after initial inertia, after inertia of many years, that's what the standing committee is wording, in inertia of many years, the railway ministry has woken up and tried to make up investment plan. So I don't know the inertia, whose inertia they were talking about. It is a self-purpose. Anyway, I'm not commenting on that, but this is what the standing committee says, shrugging of inertia. So, but anyway, the point is we have decided to make this investment, and we are going ahead to make it happen. To make this, we have to...
Inertia all these years.
Yeah, that's what they meant. Inertia of so many, that's what the standing committee mentioned. The point that they are mentioning is, and we want to do it, madam, is to take over.
You want to eat?
Minister yields 1 minute.
नहीं बोलेंगे.
I'll tell you.
Gopalji, please. Yes, I will go through it.
Madam.
I think he has referred it. If anything
Madam,
is there,
can I
will
just
go
offer
through
comment on this? I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
Madam,
You can refer, he can refer.
I am replying to...
recommendation.
Madam,
But not in any way. Yes,
Kharge
that I
sahab,
will say
please
to
now,
you.
please, I have listened to you. I'll just give me opportunity to speak about it. Madam, I am responding to a debate on demands for grant. The standing committee has already gone through demands for grants.
Yes.
As you correctly said, I should be guided by them, which I am really duty bound to be guided by them, and I want to be guided by them. If I hear on somewhere, that's why I want to clarification, that we should undertake projects standing committee has said in one place, looking at bankability of projects. Other side, standing committee says that we should take projects which are socially important. Other side, the standing committee has told me that you follow something whereby when you borrow, you should, please let me now, So what, I know, so I'm not saying anything. So what I'm saying, so,
Venugopalji, let him come.
so what I'm saying is, I would rather be guided by the standing committee, and therefore I was seeking some advice. So is it wrong in doing that? So what is that I said? I am still, please. So I am seeking, please not. I'm not sitting down. I'm not yielding. So I am definitely saying, please, I'm not yielding, please.
Please.
So what I'm saying is, and I stand by what I said, I'm saying, I would rather be guided by all the members of the standing committee, not alone by them, but all the members of this house. I respect this house. I started my speech like this. So I respect all the members of the parliament, including the members of the standing committee, and I want to work on that. So suppose for some reason I may not be as intelligent and therefore I may have certain... No, please. So therefore, what I am saying is, I started my speech saying, I am not yielding.
Please.
So I am saying...
सुरेश जी, एक मिनट, आप सब लोग, प्लीज, करुणाकरन जी.
So, madam, as I was saying, so therefore, anyway, I'm not going on that point, but I would again repeat that I have great regard for all the members of the parliament. I am also a member of parliament and will work with that. Madam,
Please, I'm giving.
Madam, including...
1 minute, Suresh ji. That's why I said I will go through it, but keep standing committee.
Yes.
Whatever you are going to do, that only you can say, that will
Madam,
be. Yes.
going into issue of revenue targets, we are definitely going into the revenue targets. We already said that we will bring about a revenue increase in case of freight.
I have given the ruling.
Revenue increase.
Please, no need.
Revenue increase, which is freight.
Yes.
The freight.
I will see to it. I have not gone through it. I will see to it and explain. Yes.
The freight, the revenue target that have been given in the budget are really realistic, and therefore we are already talking about increasing the augmenting capacity, and therefore each of the points that I mentioned, we have created a complete roadmap. How are we going to get from which source the coal, which is going to be now one of the 50% of the revenue comes from coal. We have decided to handle the coal. Ministry itself has said they will be handling coal up to 1.5 billion in 2019-20. From present 612 million tons. So railway carry about 90% of the total coal transported by the rail ministry. So obviously, when the coal ministry's ability to coal mine more, obviously when there is a steel, which is going to be by 2025, 300 metric ton of steel will be required to be transported, which will also require transport 500 million tons of iron ore, 150 million tons of coking coal, and 950 million tons of dolomite and limestone. Obviously, all of this, most of this will come to railways, and therefore railways' ability to transfer more and more will definitely be ability and will be do it. It's in terms of our passengers, we already prepared a detailed deployment of coaching stock from the production program 2015-16. So we'll have enough number of coaches available to transport passengers to meet our demand. We already prepared a complete detailed plan for it. So therefore the targets which have been mentioned in terms of passengers as well as freight are definitely completely prepared and in the realm of reality. Madam, some members raised the issue about implementation of budget. Madam, each of the item, and which I said last time only, we have actually prepared a complete roadmap. Each of the item is under implementation. This morning, we have integrated a Prime Minister's office software called Samiksha to make sure that we'll implement all of this online. So whatever budget announcement has been made into a point of action, and each of that is getting implemented. I'll just mention few. How we are implementing it. We already launched the helpline. This is in first 15 days, madam. Helpline, we launched it on Monday. I presented a budget on Thursday. We already signed an agreement with LIC. We said we'll have a finance cell. We already set up finance cell. I mentioned about Kayakalp Council. We already set up Kayakalp Council in which our two federations of the railways, the union, They have become members of that. They already said PPP cell, we are working on it. That mission 1,200 million tons, which I had mentioned in my budget speech, already detailed plan about each and every part of it is already prepared. Regulation, we had mentioned that we'll appoint regulator. Dr. Panigraiah, Vice Chairman of NITI Aayog, is already working on it. I had mentioned delegation, which was done earlier, but to ensure that the delegation is implemented properly, there are no hitches, there are no surprises, there are no problems in terms of implementation. All the delegation of power, Dr. Sridharan has given a report. Dr. Kakodkar committee, which was not appointed by us, but by the previous government, we had said in my budget speech, we'll process each and every recommendation of it. All the recommendations of Kakodkar committee have been processed. Does not mean all have been implemented, but they are all been processed. New station development, we already mentioned in my budget speech, we are already going to the cabinet to do that. International cooperation agreement with about 9 or 10 countries, we are already going to the cabinet with it. State SPVs, again, I am working with all the states and we will be able to implement it. So, madam, I don't want to take more points, but each and every announcement that was made in the budget is at various stages of implementation, and therefore it is no longer a it's not a dream but a reality that we want to put into things. Madam, one more point was mentioned about new lines. In fact, I want to give a perspective to this. In last 30 years, 676 projects worth 1,57,000 crore were sanctioned, but only 317 projects have been completed. In last 10 years, 99 new line projects were sanctioned, but only one out of them has been completed. Therefore, we thought this time we'll really work on completing the projects which are already announced. We'll take doubling, we'll take tripling. We'll also try to work in a way, therefore, all of this have been done in a way that we focus on completion rather than making announcement. One more point which was made, and that's how I was mentioning because this has come from the recommendation, is whether we have a possibility of development fund, which is, depreciation fund. We said the depreciation fund is going down, that's why we are in serious problem. Madam, in fact, I am surprised the depreciation fund this year is 8,100 crores. It has not gone down. In fact, that is why we are actually thinking that, in fact, this year has been a better year to make that happen. If you go by the development fund, which is the other point that we talk about, and there again, it has significantly gone up, and I will come to it, I think the paper I'm not, so we'll do that. But operating ratio, which was another point that we talked about, and this operating ratio, in fact, has improved this time significantly for the current year 15-16, is thanks to this overall strategy of improving revenue, rationalizing expenditure, improving productivity, and that's how we are doing it. In fact, 7.3 million tons of food grains, 4.75 million tons of iron ore, 9.6 million tons of pig iron, and all of this will be handled leading to 85 million tons of freight. And each of these points is not just come out of hat, but has been very carefully worked out, and therefore we are very sure of doing it. Other point that was mentioned was about the timely completion. Madam, we already said, as I mentioned to you, that we have prepared a 5-year program. Why? Because normally the projects don't get completed on time, because 1 year you make a provision, we don't know what happens to 2nd year, 3rd year and 4th year. And the project does not get completed in a year. So therefore, in absence of proper budgetary provision, in absence of knowing where the funding is going to come, project does not get completed. So we have prepared 5-year plan. As I said, each of these points, and a member engineering personally is monitoring it. So therefore, we'll be able to work on it. SBI Capital Market, which is a subsidiary of State Bank of India, is already working at looking at each of these projects to find out how we'll be able to get the funding for each of these ideas. Madam, in fact, for customer amenities, we have increased the amount significantly this time. We have increased the funding this time for development fund. So all of this has been increased significantly this year. I don't want to take too much of time of the House to say this, but I was just saying that despite the contrary to the view that people have, we have increased substantially the improvement into this. The whole idea is to bring back railway back to track, make sure that railway becomes an engine of growth, make sure that railways will serve the interests of the poor, make sure that railways will act as a bridge between underdevelopment and developed regions of the country, and therefore we want to make railways a better option. Some members have raised the point of suburban railway, including my good friend Mr. Anand Kumar and others for Bangalore and other places. My friend Suresh also mentioned from Kerala about the same thing. Already we have proposed. This is part of my budget announcement. I request all the honorable members, what we can do is that suburban railway system is a very important, suburban transport system is very important. Kharge Sahab will also agree. To make that happen, we cannot do it only as a railway. We need a participation of state government. We also need participation of local municipal corporation. So what we had proposed in the budget, and I hope all of you will agree, we could create an integrated transport system whereby we can actually work to implement these ideas in a proper manner. So to make that happen, we really need a participation and the cooperation of this, and therefore, when we are prepared as something like a new entity, this again will help in a significant way. So, Madam, my submission is that all the points that honorable members had mentioned were very important. All the points that have been made as a suggestion, I will definitely like to implement. All the points that have been made as a way of what should be done in future, we'll work on this, including by my good friend Arvind Sawant as well as Mr. Vinayak Raut talking about it. I know the point that you mentioned because there is voice. Including, this is a budget in which the only focus of the budget was Aam Aadmi. This was the whole focus was a common man. We want to improve the quality of food. We want to improve the quality of ticketing. We want to improve the quality of linen. We want to improve the cleanliness. We want to improve the frequency of service. We want to increase the speed of average passenger train. We want to increase the number of coaches from 24 to 26 so that common people can benefit more. So, Madam, this budget, if at all I had to devote to somebody, I will devote it to the common man, the Aam Aadmi, and therefore I will wholeheartedly request all of you to please support this budget. And I am sure all of you, including Venugopal, is very much concerned about common man. So please give some MP lad. We'll be able to complete it soon so that we will be able to complete the common man interest in a more appropriate manner. And therefore I look forward to this. Thank you very much.
Yes. Members, 1 minute. Let time to बढ़ा दूँ, समय तो बढ़ा दूँ. ओहो. सभासदों, members, अगर सभा ऐसा करें तो बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. Please,
Madam,
no, nothing. Yes.
Madam,
Yes.
some points have been raised. One is about the northeastern
वो केरला का
Northeastern
प्रश्न हो गया,
states.
बेटी. No. Yes.
About the northeastern state, some points have been raised.
Yes.
Madam, northeastern states are receiving a topmost priority from the government of India. I personally must have gone there at least 3 times in the last 2-3 months, even including the last weekend. I was there in Guwahati. First ever railway week was held in Guwahati this time. It is not symbolic. This is also important to make that we want to work on Northeast. All the state capitals of the northeastern states are connected by railways, and we are trying to make sure that each and every. When I was in Assam, I had a meeting. So all the northeastern states capital are being connected by the railways. When I was in Assam, I met the Honorable Chief Minister. We had decided to work together to develop a particular station in Assam as a terminal. The Chief Minister agreed, the minutes have been made. We are trying to work on it. So therefore, northeastern state is a priority for India, Government of India, and will work on it in a proper manner. Madam, Samalpur is a station that Samalpur line you talked about. We'll definitely look into that. About asking about Palghat coach factory. This is the Palghat coach factory. In fact, the RFQ was already issued. As you know, it's a very old project. As you yourself said, more than 30 years old. So this was a PPP project, not envisaged by us, but by the earlier governments. Despite that, we issued the PPP. There has to be a participation by the, obviously, PPP presupposes that there is a private sector participation. So when the private sector participation happens, if you want, we can share with you the details as any time that you feel like. About the suburban railway, it's actually the responsibility of the state government. Normally, the railways should really decide. Madam, this is a very broad issue, and I'll come to that tab last week. Please sit down, don't be excited, please. So what I'm saying is, and I answered it already, but I'll answer again for you. This is the third time I'll answer, but I'll answer. But, Madam, suburban railway, it should be really a part of a larger discussion as a public policy issue. The government of India, running the rail department, should run the trunk routes. We should try to link the state capital. We should try to look at interstate. we have created a new entity which will look at intra-state project within the state, which is the first time it has happened. It was not there, so there was no issue. Suburban transportation, because now there is going to be a proliferation of urban issues. Our government is creating 100 new smart cities. So therefore, we really need to work out a modality. I will sit with my senior minister and the urban development minister to find out how we could really plan it. But point you are mentioning, there's already a company which is called KRIDE, which actually works on rail infrastructure. We can look at as an entity. On the diamond, this is also suburban ke liye we can use. So diamond quadrilateral is something which is under study, which is not yet ready, complete idea is not ready, the suburban deal. As far as debt trap is concerned, I thought Venugopal was listening to me when I was speaking earlier. Therefore, when you told Mr. Venkaiah Naidu was not in the house, I think we are in the house but didn't listen to what I said that time. I had at length explained to you how the most of the advanced railway networks in the world have borrowed money to create infrastructure. Within our own India, when we see most of the infrastructure projects, they don't happen by this budgetary support. They happen by way of borrowing money because we need servicing, we need to invest such large quantity. Now just tell me, you are yourself such an enlightened person, we ourselves agree that last 7-8 years, including Mr. Satav has been talking about operating ratio had reached a precarious level of over 90%. That means we are left with nothing. Now if you want, all of you want new projects to come up, all of you want to complete the projects, all of us want that we should modernize railways, where the funds are going to come. So therefore the funds have to come. If you make a capital investment, they must be made in a way that increases the capacity of the railways to handle more traffic. So by doing this, we are not actually putting railway into danger. In fact, we are improving the health of railways, because the railways will be able to handle more freight. As I mentioned earlier, 1 billion to 1.5 billion million ton. If you don't do that, obviously we will not be able to get the type of revenues railway need. And to make that revenue, railways must make investment. So therefore, this in fact don't make that investment. That is why we all talked about. The railways have become sick, railways have become problem. That is what we all agree. So how it has become? Because we did not make investment into railways. To make investment into railways, the internal generation of railways is not sufficient, though we are trying to improve the capacity of the railways to generate more revenues, and therefore this is the case. Again, I gave you the example of China. I gave you the example of Japan. I gave you the example of Germany. Or for that matter, I can give more examples. If you want, one day I can even organize a seminar, so that let us not use this as a program of something. Railways should be a national asset. We should try to work together to make sure that railways become profitable, financially viable, stable, so that it can have a capacity to invest more. We can take care of states like Kerala and northeastern states more. And to do that, we need investments, and the investments can come only with limited way from budget, limited work from this, but we also make that investment.
Yes. Members, number 2016, in respect of the heads of demands entered in the second column thereof against demand number 1 to 16. Those in favor may say aye. Those against may say no. I think the ayes have it. The demands for grants railways for 2015-16 are passed. Item number 11A, Mr. Minister.
Madam, I beg to move for leave to introduce a bill to authorize payment and appropriation of certain sums from and out of the Consolidated Fund of India for the services of the financial year 2015-16 for the purpose of railways.
Yes.
Madam, I introduce the bill.
Sorry. The question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor may say aye. Those against may say no. I think the ayes have it. The leave is granted. The minister now introduce the bill.
Madam, I introduce the bill.
Yes. Item number 11B.
Madam, I beg to move that a bill to authorize payment and appropriation of certain sums from and out of the Consolidated Fund of India for the services of the financial year 2015-16 for the purpose of railways be taken into consideration.
Yes. The question is that the bill be taken into consideration. Those